What's so important these days is the New York Knicks. They are the talk of the town. What do you think of them this year?
I mean, it's great for the city, man. It's been a long time coming. I'm just glad for the fans, the excitement, back in the city. The young fellas are playing well. As a player that played in the league and played for the Knicks for, 5 years, 6 years, and know the history and know the pressure of playing in New York, to see these young guys come to the forefront and to perform under extremes amount of pressure.
Sure.
Because when I played, it was Willis Reed and won championships, with Clyde and Earl and Dave DeBusschere and all those guys. And then we came along, and then we were eighth seed and did the things that we did in the 90s. And, before I got there, Patrick and they played Houston in 94. And to have that success and then not have the success that is normally attributed to, New York City, it's just great to watch, man. I'm proud of the guys. I haven't met any of them personally, but I know them.
Julius Randle, triple-double threat every night. What has impressed you most about his game?
Well, I knew he had a lot of talent. But the thing that impressed me the most was this year, he got his body in phenomenal shape. So he was able to sustain that effort for 4 quarters. When you're not in shape, you hanging out or whatever, you'll be good for, a half. But then you'll fall off in the 4th quarter when the pressure's on the line. But when you have your body and mind in the greatest shape of your life, now you see his talent come out.
Do you think that the Knicks and the Nets have equal chance at a championship this year?
Yeah, they both have a chance. Even though the Knicks are underdog, the Nets are more talented, but talent doesn't win championships. Talent might get you there. You might get you to the 2nd round, but heart and determination, and you have to catch breaks. We were unfortunate. We didn't catch a break in '99. Everybody was hurt. We lost Patrick, and we had to go up against the Twin Towers and David Robinson and Tim Duncan. So you never know what could happen. But I just like the makeup of that team. I just, wish Mitchell Robinson didn't get hurt, because with him in there clogging up the paint, I think we'll have a better opportunity. But you never know, Scoop. I'm a firm believer in things happen for a reason. Thibodeau came there. He got these guys playing the way that he wants them to play, that playoff basketball is all about.
Chris, why do people think you hate Michael Jordan?
I don't hate anybody. I dislike a lot of players. I don't hate anyone. That's a strong word. I played golf with Michael. When we retired, when I was living in Miami, we played golf together. But one thing that I've never strayed away from is speaking my mind and telling the truth. I disliked him as on the court. I dislike anybody that have a Knick jersey on. I don't care who it is. I was friends with a lot of guys, off the court. But once I stepped on the court, if you didn't have a Knick jersey on, I don't care for you one bit. And what people don't understand is that Michael was one of the dirtiest players that ever played a game. He would cheap shot you and then look at the ref for help. And so one thing that I stood on from the beginning is that I'm a man like you're a man. And I want to be treated accordingly. If you don't treat me accordingly, then I'll take that respect. And that's one thing that when I stepped on the court, I let be known from the beginning. If you're going to play physical, that's fine. But once you start playing dirty, then I have a problem with that. Same thing with Tim Hardaway. I disliked him. I don't hate him.
Sure.
Because that's too strong of a word. Did I dislike him as a Miami Heat and as a player? Absolutely.
I've heard a myriad of stories from retired players about Michael. I've been told about the time he sang Anita Baker's "Giving You the Best That I Got" to Jerry Stackhouse en route to scoring 48 points. Jimmy Jackson or it's been told to me that Jimmy Jackson was wearing Michael's shoes and was scoring on him deeply. And when Jimmy was at the free throw line, Michael said to Jimmy, you know, Jimmy, you talk a lot of smack for somebody that's wearing my shoes. And then Michael came back with the Bulls and won the game. What's the craziest thing Michael Jordan ever said to you on the basketball court?
Well, I remember vividly. I was with the Nets, and the first I wasn't starting at the time, and Butch put me in, and I remember he said, "You got Mike." I'm like, "All right, no problem." And so I'm guarding him. I'm 6'3", Michael's 6'6", but I knew that I would have to get him off his spot and use my strength to, take advantage of that. Because if he got me down, 12, 11 feet, he'd just jump and shoot over me. So I had to push him out to 16, 17 feet where I had the advantage. And so he did a move, whatever. I knocked it out of his hand, and he looked over at the bench to Paul Silas and said, "Who is this B?" Right? I didn't hear it, but Paul Silas in return said, "At the end of the game, you're going to know who he is." And then another story in Chicago, I was, good friends with Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
We exchange cigars or a box of cigars after the game. And so we get into it in Chicago, go for a rebound. He throw an elbow. I take the ball and throw it at him, and he run up on me, and I square up, and he stopped. And so after the game, I come out the locker room, go into the tunnel, and it's Scotty, Worldwide West, who's with the Knicks now, and Tiger Woods. And so they're standing there, and I come up to Scotty, "It's a good game, da-da-da." He's a cigar. And they already have a bet that when Michael comes out, I'm going to shake his hand. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know who you're talking to." And so Michael comes out, he says what's up to the guys, and he put his hand out. And I said, "You can take that hand back, B. I'll see you in New York." And I got on the bus.